tell you happened 3 weeks ago. I still can't sleep. The police won't believe me. My therapist thinks I'm having a breakdown, and honestly, maybe I am. But I need to tell someone what really happened during my last night shift at Morrison Data Solutions. Because if you ever see a job posting for overnight security there, don't apply. I'd been working security at Morrison Data Solutions for 6 months. Standard corporate building, 12 floors, nothing special. Accounting firms, insurance companies, the usual suspects. My shift ran from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., and honestly, it was perfect. Quiet, decent pay, and most importantly, I was alone. The job was simple. Walk the floors every 2 hours, check the doors, make sure nothing's stolen or broken. The building was always empty after 9 p.m., except for the occasional workaholic pulling an all-nighter. But that night was different. That night, I learned why the previous security guard quit without giving notice, why they'd been through 7 guards in 2 years, and why the building's insurance premiums are triple the city average. It started at 11:47 p.m. I was doing my first round when I heard it. Typing. Fast, aggressive typing coming from the 7th floor. Now, I'd been doing this job for months, and I knew which companies stayed late. 7th floor was supposed to be completely empty after 8 p.m. I checked the sign-in sheet. No one had badged it after hours. No cars in the parking garage except mine. But that typing, it was relentless. Like someone was frantically trying to meet a deadline. I took the elevator to 7, and the typing stopped the moment the doors opened. Dead silence. I walked the entire floor, checking every office, every cubicle, every supply closet. Nothing. Not even a computer left running. But here's the thing that made my skin crawl. In the corner office, the one where the typing had been loudest, the chair was still spinning. I tried to rationalize it. Old building, weird acoustics, maybe the HVAC system. But when I got back to my desk, I noticed something that made me question everything. The security camera for the 7th floor corner office, it was offline. Not broken, not disconnected. Just offline. Like someone had deliberately disabled it. At 1:23 a.m., it happened again. But this time, it wasn't just typing. I could hear voices, muffled like a conference call, coming from the 9th floor. I checked the monitors. Every camera showed empty offices, but I could clearly hear multiple people talking. I grabbed my flashlight and headed up. The voices got clear as I approached. It sounded like a business meeting. Someone was presenting quarterly reports, others were asking questions. Normal office sounds, except it was nearly 2 a.m. in a building that should have been empty. I pressed my ear against the conference room door. The voices were right there, maybe 10 feet away. I could make out specific words, productivity metrics, cost reduction, employee optimization. I tried the door handle. Locked, but then I heard something that made my blood run cold. My own voice. Coming from inside the room, talking about security protocols and shift schedules. I was listening to myself in a meeting I'd never attended. I ran back to the security desk and checked every camera. That's when I saw them. Figures. Transparent, like shadows, but clearly human-shaped. They were in every office, every floor, sitting at desks, walking through hallways, having conversations. The building was full of people I couldn't quite see. I grabbed the sign-in logs for the past 2 years. Every single night shift guard had reported the same thing. Strange sounds, phantom voices, equipment malfunctioning. The reports got more detailed each time, more terrified. The last guard, Martinez, had written, "They know I can see them," in red ink across his final report. At 2:45 a.m., every computer in the building turned on simultaneously. I could see the screens flickering to life on every floor. The typing started again, but this time it was everywhere. Hundreds of keyboards clicking in perfect synchronization. I tried to call my supervisor, but my phone had no signal. I tried the landline. Dead. I was completely cut off from the outside world. And that's when I realized the truth about Morrison Data Solutions. This wasn't a regular office building. It was something else entirely. I found a basement level that wasn't on any building schematic, hidden behind a maintenance door that should have led to a supply closet. Down there, I discovered the truth about Morrison Data Solutions. The company had been closed for 15 years, shut down after a workplace incident that killed 37 employees. Carbon monoxide leaked during a mandatory late-night meeting. Everyone died at their desks, still working. But the building's owners had covered it up. They'd rebranded, brought in new companies, new employees, made everyone sign NDAs about minor building irregularities. The night shift security wasn't there to protect the building. I found my employment contract in a dusty filing cabinet. We were there to monitor them, to make sure they stayed contained to the night hours. The real one, not the version I'd signed. It was a containment agreement. I was being paid to be a witness, to keep the dead employees company so they wouldn't get restless, so they wouldn't start appearing during business hours. That's when I heard footsteps behind me. I turned around, and there they were. 37 pale figures in outdated business attire, standing in the basement with me. They weren't threatening. They looked grateful, like they'd been lonely for so long, and finally someone could see them. The sun came up. The figures faded away. Normal employees started arriving for their 9 to 5 shifts, completely unaware that they were working in a building full of the dead. I quit that morning, but here's the thing that keeps me awake at night. I went home, opened my laptop, and found an email from Morrison Data Solutions HR. My resignation had been rejected. According to their records, I'd agreed to a 15-year contract with no early termination clause. The same contract every night security guard had signed. But here's the real twist. I checked the mirror in my bathroom, and I saw something that made me understand why I could see them so clearly. Why I could hear their voices when other guards couldn't. My reflection was starting to fade around the edges. Just slightly, but enough to notice. I've been dead for 3 weeks. Carbon monoxide poisoning from a faulty heater in my apartment. The landlord found my body the morning after my last shift. I'm telling you this story because I'm one of them now. One of the night shift employees who can never leave. So if you see that job posting, if Morrison Data Solutions calls you for an interview, if they offer you good money for easy night shift work, remember this story. Because they're not hiring security guards. They're recruiting the next person to join their permanent night shift. And trust me, the employee retention rate is 100%.